how do you like Robbie's beautiful pillows? This one we call Everything's Coming Up Daisies. And you'll notice our little flowers, they have all been done using the embroidered decoupage technique. Robbie spent ages, I wouldn't have had the patience to make our lovely fringe, and the actual flap is held in place with buttonholes and pretty little yellow buttons. And then here is our other one. Again done with embroidered decoupage. We have our base pillow underneath, and then you make like a cylinder and put little ties on each end to tie over our yellow pillow. Again, this design has been done using the embroidered decoupage technique, but for our applique fabric we had batting behind the yellow and 2 layers of batting behind the blue, and of course 2 layers of batting in our center, which is emphasized with a pretty little button. Look how gorgeously this puffs up when it's stitched onto a plain fabric. So you can make pillows to go with your lovely Place in the Sun quilt. Again, we have spoken about this previously. This is a great little thing to do as a little placemat, tray cloth, a good way to practice your quilt before you actually put it together. So it's good to use all your techniques. As we mentioned before, you can always put, when you've finished your quilt, a little flower in the center of the green. Speaking of little flowers, I know you all noticed my jug and my little glasses. There's a little story about this jug. This was the very first set that I bought for my Glory Box. Now that really dates me. We were just saying if something's over 50 years old, it's considered vintage or antique. Well, both of us are considered that now. So what we've done here is, again, the little coaster, and we've just ironed some fabric and stiffener onto the back of the flowers using our lovely Web Magic Light. So we have a little glass coaster, and then we have a little trivet, which can be used for a teapot or a jug. There are so many gorgeous things you can do as extensions to your quilt. Now let me show you some fun things that Milan's Fabrics have made for us. We told them that we wanted it in the theme of the beach. And as always, Milan's always excel themselves. I'll just move these out of the way. And they chose yellow gingham and black fabric with little hearts. Let's start with this. This is their toaster cover, and what they've done, because they had access to a large hoop, they've actually put 2 designs together and stitched them out in one hooping. Now, rather than have all the fabric pieces that we had, you know how we said we put 1 square over the top? They have used the same color for the leaves, the applique outline, they left it as an insert, and the outer petals, with the black fabric for the inner petals and the white fabric for the center of the flower. That's a great way if you want to cut down on the amount of applique. I love this, and I love the shape of it. Isn't it gorgeous? It's a pot holder, and it's all been beautifully quilted. Of course, we have the tea towel to go with it, and I'll be sharing with you something more about this design later. And putting 4 blocks together, and we have a lovely circular table topper. How fun are they for your outdoor setting? This looked perfect on my veranda up at our resort. Now let's talk about a colour change. This has been done by Debbie Reese. Isn't it beautiful? And she's done something different. She used her bias maker and she actually made her beautiful bias tape, which she has fused down with Web Magic Light. She has put the quilt all together with the Jenny join, except she has used a lovely little satin stitch ball instead of the tape over her sashing and cornerstones. You can hardly see this tape here because she's used the same fabric as she did for her background. These fabrics are all from my Premier Fabric Design Collection, which is called When Dreams Flower, and if you particularly like this fabric, she may at some time have some of these fabrics so she can sell them to you. So again, the back of it has all been done with Dreams Flower fabrics, and I'm sure she will have a kit on her website for you to purchase these fabrics. This was just one of our little plays, and we did it with patchwork fabric in pinks. This is actually from When Dreams Flower. These were just fabrics that went with it. We've got our stitching in the background that we did, our lovely McTavishing in the hoop. And again, the back is equally as beautiful as the front. I trust you will enjoy exploring and walking along the beach with Robbie and I, and Honey and Mitzi at Tawoon Bay, and that you too will enjoy this wonderful place in the sun as much as we do.